Hey there Internet, Keav here, and welcome to the Cars of Keav YouTube channel. And what I have before me is a question I have gotten many times in DMs, comments, all kinds of stuff. Is this the Swift Auto Care foam cannon, the MJJC Pro version 2? And the reason people ask this is because when you search on Amazon for the MJJC Pro version 2, it doesn't show up anymore. But what shows up at top request for that is the Swift Auto Care. Now, the Pro V2 is one of the best foam cannons that's ever existed. It's top 3 in my book. One good thing right now is this is $69.99 on Amazon as I'm recording this. Don't know if it will be anymore. It's normally $79.99. The Pro V2, no longer available on Amazon, is on the MJJC website for $89.99, and I don't think they do free shipping. So that's closer to probably $100. So even at $79.99, it's a pretty good deal. Now it's available in other areas for cheaper. All products are cheaper on Alibaba, but and I think there may be some eBay stuff. Now we do have some new tools that we have to do foam cannon reviews, and it's all about orifices, right? 1.1, 1.25. But we've already found in many of my reviews that those nozzles, they're not what they say they are. So I went out and bought a precision pin gauge set. So this is basically everything from 0.011 inches all the way up to 0.060 inches. So then we use a conversion. There's 25.4 millimeters in an inch. We take this number and we times it by 25.4, and that's what it is. So the closest we have to a 1.1 is the 0.043. That comes out to 1.922 millimeters. The 0.049 is the closest to a 1.25. It's like 1.244 something. So we'll just go ahead and take off. This is the M22 quick disconnect area right here. It comes with the quarter-inch quick disconnect. Nice construction. I mean, it feels nice. It feels like a MJJC. The brass doesn't feel like coated polished aluminum. Some are. It feels like brass. The materials feel exactly the same as a Pro V2. It turns 360 here, gives you the full spectrum, and it's nice and tight. The other one is a little bit looser, gives you your stream to your widespread fan, and that has always been slightly looser than this. My Pro V2, I gave it away to a friend with a wash cart setup. So I don't have a comparison right here with me, but I used it so much I know what it is. So we have our 1.25 in here. Here is a 0.049. Does it fit? Yes, it does. Like just barely. So it's definitely 1.25. But what comes with it is a 1.1 that comes in this little baggie here and a couple of extra O-rings. This is the O-ring we're talking about. There's your 1.1 millimeter orifice. Here is an up-close look at the pin gauges. So the 0.043 is the closest we have to a 1.1. And it fits in there very tight. Like it doesn't even move inside of there. So the accuracy is MJJC level. What's the next to check? Well, the knob on top, everybody has that. Obviously the bottle, that's literally an MJJC bottle. The milliliter markings are definitely spot on and exactly about where they are, usually about right here. You would actually think it's up here. A lot of people put the liquid up here and they wonder why they don't get good foam. You fill it up to the 1,000 milliliter mark, not to all the way to fill up. So you do have extra capacity in here if you want to add a little more soap, add a little more water. So we take the cap off. We have the very flimsy and narrower suction tube. It does have the little diaphragms on both sides. These is what allows it to breathe and not leak at the same time. This little piece right here, this riser, this is definitely MJJC as well. The thread of the cap goes on nice and easy, just like the MJJC. We need a little persuasion. There we go. So inside of here, we'll check. That's what MJJC looks. A lot of foam cans look like that on the inside. You could push this down and it comes out. There we go. Oh, got it. And it is the sandwich filter, which this is inherently harder to install back. The solid piece is much easier. Now we confirmed everything about this physically is a Pro V2. So now what are we going to do? Let's check out the foam. So for this, I'm going to use the same soaps that I've used in the MJJC Pro V2. Kind of since I moved to the DIY Detail Incredible Suds, which is an amazing soap. You get 10% off by using code CARS with Keav on their website. But I was using G-Technic products before, so we'll use G-Technic G-Wash. We'll use 100 milliliters and fill it up to the 1,000 milliliter mark. That's the 10-to-1 dilution ratio that I always use with G-Technic soaps. And then what we'll do is we'll use this with the 1.25 on an Amazon pressure washer. It's called the Foting. It has about the same output as a Ryobi or a Greenworks. And normally most foam cannons, you would have to use a 1.1 to get good foam. It's never been the problem with an MJJC. You can usually get good foam with the 1.25. But when you switch to the 1.1, that foam gets crazy. Then we will switch to the Active 2.0, which has a much higher water flow. You cannot use a 1.1 on that. You will blow the motor out and over amp it, trip the breaker in your garage. And then we will see the foam levels with that. And we're not going to do anything to gain an advantage with foam. We're not going to use warm water. We're not going to use deionized water. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll go about a third of the way down. There we go. There's our soap. All right, we got our SGS-28 gun. This is the Blue Shield Kevlar hose, all kinds of stuff. The Ridge washer nozzle guard. Now let's turn this bad boy on. Well, one thing we forgot to do earlier in the testing, is it leak proof? Yes, it is an MJJC. That's for sure. No leaky. That's with a 1.25. Maybe slightly less foam than I was expecting, but this pressure washer doesn't really put out the best flow in the world. Now that's what we're talking about right there. That's the shaving cream. I call it styrofoam because it's dimpled everywhere. You see how it's just sitting there. Some areas moving a little bit better. And that's the thickness we're talking about. That is the MJJC. Nothing like a 1.25 orifice on Active 2.0. You can see the foam and how thick it is. Came on thick. The way I liked it is exactly what I was expecting from MJJC. G-Wash is not the foamiest soap in the world. At the 10-to-1, I believe if we ran Incredible Suds, even with 1 ounce in the foam cannon, we would have gotten crazy foam. Let's do that right now and show you the difference between 100 milliliters of G-Wash, and we'll use 1 ounce, which is basically 30 milliliters of Incredible Suds. So there you go. That's it. That's all the soap we put in there. That's 1 ounce of Incredible Suds. We are exactly at the 1,000 milliliter mark. You see we have the more purple color. The best thing about the leak-proof bottles like this is you could twirl them around and they don't leak. See the thickness of the Incredible Suds with that little bit of liquid. So I'm saying, from my personal opinion, without a doubt, this is an MJJC Pro V2 that has been relabeled. This is one of the best foam cannons on the market, whether it was copied or not. Like I said, right now it's $69.99 on Amazon. Normally it's $79.99, which that's still a decent deal because the Pro V2 is 90 bucks on MJJC's website, and that's not with free shipping. So, I mean, if you're looking for a Pro V2 and you can't find it on Amazon, this is what you get. So don't forget to check out the links below for anything in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the bloopers coming up next, and I'll see you in the next video. And welcome to the Cars with Keav YouTube. So even at 79, dead on 1.25, and bought a precision pin. So I went out and bought a precision pin. So I went out and bought a precision pin gauge